Hi everyone, this is Conscious Conversations. I'm Leslie.
And I'm Terry.
Today we're going to be talking about embarking on parenthood. Terry and I are new parents. Well, we have a child that's due in late October. And so today we kind of just want to be candid about what we're experiencing and just talk a little bit about how we feel about becoming new parents. So I want to talk first about a quote, and the quote that I found about parenting goes like this: "The best inheritance a parent can give his children is a few minutes of his time each day." And this quote is by Orlando Aloysius Batista, and he was a Canadian scientist that lived between 1917 and 1995. What do you think about this quote, Terry?
I think it's a powerful quote. You know, our time is a precious gift, especially to our children, because our children look up to us, and the time that we give them is, worth more than, all the money in the world to a child. So it's the quality time that we spend with them. It's so important to a child.
Yes, I think we were talking about this earlier today, how some people will say, yes, I'm gone a lot, but when I'm with my child, I'm there 100%. I don't necessarily agree with this type of parenting style, because when I know we can't be there 24 hours a day all the time, but we have to, I want to keep in mind, and I believe that it's important to keep in mind that even our little bit of time and attention every day is valuable, so perhaps maybe a parent is gone for 2-3 months on business often throughout the year, but when they come home for that week or two, they're 100% present with the child. But during that 2 or 3 months, so much has been missed.
Yeah, it's true. Because to the child, that few months feels like an eternity. They go, is my parent ever going to come back? It may seem like a long eternity to the child. So that even though we may come back and give them 100%, it's still not enough, because you have to look at it from a day-to-day perspective. That child needs that parent there.
Yeah, it's the little things that are missed, right?
So yeah. It can also go, if the child could be there 24/7, but they're not there emotionally, that's the same thing as if they're not there. So we have to also look at that. So of course, it's important to be there as much as we can for our children, because they need us to be there. But it's also the quality too. So we have to look at those things.
Yes, quality over quantity.
Yeah. So quantity, not necessarily good if you're not there for your child. If you can ignore your child or say, "Get out of my hair, I don't want you in front of me," then we're not really there. We're not present for our child.
Go watch that TV show upstairs.
Yeah. So we have to look at the quantity and the quality.
So I think what we're getting at is we want to be there. It's about being there.
Yeah.
And making sure the child knows that they can rely on you and that they can trust that you're going to be available if they need you there. So let's talk about this, Terry. What does being a parent mean to you?
Being a parent, it's being a teacher. It's being a loving member. It's like this is your tribe, and your partner and your children, we're all like one unit, and it's about emulating what you want them to be. If you want you want your family to have love, you have to teach love. Your child will mirror that back to you. And being a parent too realizes that yes, you're a teacher, but you're also a student. You're always learning. Your children teach you as well, or you learn from other parents and just observing, and you're constantly growing and learning, evolving constantly. So it's a full-time job, it requires 100% commitment.
Yes, I agree. I believe that parenting, for me, it's about being flexible. It's also about setting boundaries, setting like a schedule, routine, but also being able to diverge from the routine and do different things if necessary. Also, making sure to talk with the child every day and say, "How's your day today? Is there anything you want to talk about?" I don't know, just making sure that I'm available. I want to be able to be available to communicate with the child and teach him or her the lessons or whatever comes to their mind. I mean, I know that being a parent, you have long days, but it's just so important to really make sure the lines of communication are always open. And I think for me, being a parent means the lines of communication are always open.
Yeah, I agree. It's so important to have that open communication. And talking with you this morning, we talked about the flexibility, being able to compromise. You may have an idea. I want to do this with our family today, and the child will say, I really don't want to do that. How about this? And it's coming to an agreement as a family. As it's sort of, we look at it as a democratic thing where it's not just about the parents dictating to their child, we're going to do this. We don't care about what you want to do. There's got to be more flexibility, in the communication and what's going to work for everyone, not just for the parent or the parents.
Yeah. So, Terry, do you have any fears, any reservations about becoming a new father?
Yeah, it's mixed emotions here. I'm scared, terrified because it's something that's new to me, but I'm also excited and can't wait to just be there and just be a parent. I can just envision all the things, like going to the park and smelling the roses, taking a walk around the lake, and just doing all these adventures and teaching our child and playing with our child and communicating and hearing about their dreams and their passions and just talking and just having this really neat dialogue and adventure. I just feel really excited. How about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, I feel similar to you. I feel like scared. I feel like I'm already connecting with her. I understand that a woman's journey is a little bit different from the man's journey initially, because as a woman, we can feel the child growing, and she's here in my body all day. Since we already know we're having a girl, I know she's here all day. So sometimes I'll sing her songs and stuff like that. And right now, I feel a little nervous because I don't always keep in mind that I'm already a parent. Like I could be teaching things, or I could be talking to her about something, or sing her a song, and so sometimes I'm not doing that, and so sometimes I already feel a little guilty, actually, about what I'm doing. However, I also feel that she's also getting kind of like a head start, since I am a teacher teaching English grammar to adults. Mm-hmm. So I feel like she is, learning all day, and she does have some really great benefits, and so I guess just like you, nervous, but also really excited, and really excited to see what kind of parents we're going to be. Yes. Because I do feel like I don't want to be really rigid. Yeah. However, I do want to set boundaries, but I know that I'm going to want her to also be free with, especially when she becomes like a teenager or, preteen. I do really want her for and for her to make her own mistakes, but also have me to guide her and talk to her. If she, hopefully I'll make her feel comfortable enough to talk to me about problems and give her freedoms to make a mistake.
Yeah, it's so important to have that, that trust where she feels like she can talk to us. And I think when she feels that way, and then when she becomes a teenager or young adult, that she can just talk about her issues with us openly, without hiding them, because she's afraid of being judged or shamed. Just to have that healthy dialogue and that trust where we can just openly communicate, and then just be honest. I think it's being real. I think that's the thing important about parenting, is just being real with your children. Don't pretend like we're all perfect. We're still making mistakes.
Yes.
And we're still growing.
I've got this book that one of my students gave to me. I haven't finished it yet, but it's a really interesting book about raising teenagers. I think that might even be the title. I don't really remember right now, but they were just talking. I still remember a story about a young girl. She was really sad. She was I think she was suicidal, and she said that it really bothered her that her mother always acted like she was perfect. Mm-hmm. And she said she was just she was really interested in having a true dialogue about life, but her mom always made it, even though her mom communicated with her mom never made it seem like she made mistakes. Mm-hmm. And that made the daughter feel really uncomfortable.
That creates this kind of like, you have to be a superhuman. You're not allowed to make mistakes, and if you make a mistake, you're a bad person. You feel ashamed. Oh, I made a mistake. I'm a horrible person. And that shouldn't be that way, because we all make mistakes. And sometimes the mistakes are blessings, because they teach us what we didn't do right, and we can learn from them and grow from them, become better people. So mistakes can be blessings if you look at it from a healthy perspective, instead of like, oh no, I better not make a mistake, or I'm going to bring shame to my family. And then that closes down the communication, and that's a sad situation when you mentioned with the mother and daughter, because they don't have a healthy, there's no trust, and there's they lost that sacredness. I was talking, I think I told you, I was talking to some students about openness with teenagers, and I haven't taught teenagers a lot. I've only taught them for a short period of time, but what I do know is they do like to share, and I enjoy sharing personal experiences with them, to a degree, and just letting them know, just relating to them and letting them know that they're not alone, because I think a lot of them are yearning for that. Some of them have mothers that are really, invested and ask them a lot of questions and just let them know everything. Some kids really do have moms like that, but other kids have moms that don't tell them anything. So there are these extremes, and I just think that even though teenagers can be hard to deal with, I just think that they really are a blessing, and they can really teach us how to be better people if we just give it a chance. Yeah, that's true. And then our children, they mirror what we need to work on in ourselves. So if our child is not talking to us, we have to look at ourselves and say, why is this happening? What am I doing? Perhaps I'm not creating a safe environment for them to share openly.
Yeah.
So, we have to look at it from that perspective. Why are they doing this? Mm-hmm. Because everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. So, as we said before, the baby's due late October, around October 20th. We already know that the baby's a girl, and we've named her...
We named her Rose.
Rose.
The name just, like, she chose that name. It was just obvious, and we both love roses. We just both feel this connection with roses.
Yeah, the name just came, and we believe she picked out the name, and so that's the name she's going to have, Rose Marie. And we think I think she'll be as sweet as the name.
Yes.
So, Terry, what are your hopes and dreams for Rose's future?
I just want her to be, this confident, strong, just beautiful soul, just like her name is, just sweet, loving, compassionate, caring, and just living and demonstrating from her heart, and just being her beautiful self, and just making a positive difference in the world, and in the matter that she chooses to do. Because I know we as parents will sometimes say, "Oh, well, I'm a teacher. I want you to be a teacher," and I think we have to be careful not doing that. We have to allow the child to explore their talents and their gifts, and walk their own path. Because we can't walk their path.
Yeah.
They know who they are, and we have to allow them to discover that.
Yes. My hope and dream for Rose is just for her to feel like she had two supportive parents that cared about her, or care about her deeply, and that want the best for her. And I want her to feel free to make her own decisions as to what she wants to do and be with her life. And I don't want to control that. And so my hope and dream for her is for her freedom of choice to live her life how she feels is best. I mean, especially, with tools we give her, tools of good character and good personhood. Because I know that sometimes people can maybe put a little bit too much emphasis on, the appearance of somebody, or, what they wanted for themselves or something like that. But the truth is, Rose, whether or not society finds her physically appealing or not, that's not my concern. My concern is, did we help her, bring out her true beauty, which is, confidence, assertiveness, creativeness, and all of these beautiful characters, kindness, compassion, all the beautiful things about a person's heart that actually truly make them beautiful people. And those are my hopes and dreams for her to just be an assertive, confident, beautiful person within her heart that's really doing something to benefit society, not just somebody for society to look at, but to assist society in making it a better place for everybody.
Exactly. And just following her heart, just being true to herself, and not following the crowd. Just doing this because I want to be accepted, and feeling confident in herself that she'll do what's right, because she knows in her heart this is true, this is right.
Yes, I mean, when we get sucked into the crowd mentality and trying to be accepted, that's when we have to work ourselves out of this hole of shame, and I really don't want that hole of shame for her. Even though we all have our own paths, and we all have our own dilemmas and our own burdens that we have to face and overcome, the hole of shame is a really difficult hole to pull yourself out of. And hopefully, we'll be able to give her the tools to be a strong and assertive person, and be able to kind of say no and do her own truth.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to share a quote. This is from Jesse Jackson. Your children need your presence more than your presence. I think this is, very powerful. This again goes back to that children need us to be there 100%. And it doesn't matter, we shower them with, expensive gifts, take them places here and there. It's the quality of time that we spend with them. It's so precious. It's worth more than any material item on the planet. So it's so important, and it's what we're giving in that presence. Are we being authentic with them? Are we being real? Are we being open with our children? So those are all things when we're talking about being present. It's being mindful of our actions and what we need to work on. As we improve the quality of our own lives, we're improving the quality of their lives. So as we just continue working on ourselves, improving ourselves, growing, and just becoming better human beings, becoming, these true spiritual beings that we are, then we're giving, these are the gifts that we're giving our children, as we work on ourselves, become better people, we're becoming better parents.
Yes, I agree. Well said, Terry.
Thank you.
So we're going to go ahead and close out this session. Thank you so much, Terry, for talking with me about Embarking on Parenthood. I know we're both excited and anxious and look forward to meeting Miss Rose.
Yes.
And one day maybe we can play her this this podcast, right?
Yes.
So thank you so much, Terry. And until next time, everyone, this has been Conscious Conversations. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.